give it to me whenever I want.
I noticed you're not wearing your wedding.
Oh, I smashed it. We got into an argument and she was like, I'm gonna get a divorce, so I took all her rings and... Well, every woman I meet I don't have sex with. I wish I could come home and be like, yeah, I got a little bored, I went out, I met this chick, is that cool? I'm pretty valuable. You know, she could divorce me tomorrow and go out with 1,000 guys and then
Well, Dyson, come on out and let's give this another shot, shall we? Welcome back.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah? Why did you want to come back here? Or did you get dragged?
A little bit of both, don't you think? Half and half?
You can answer it on your own.
No, I was really done after the first one. You could say that I was diverting the attention or whatever, but I felt that a confidence was broken between myself and the people that put the show on, so I was done. But
And you know I totally disagree with that, right?
I know you do, but I don't.
Okay, and we can go down that road or we can go down another road.
Yeah, let's just
whatever
agree
you
to
want to do.
disagree on that. I'm here now, and I want to make a change. I mean, I can tell that, just through my past experience as I'm getting older, it's not as fun as it once used to be. That's why I said in 5 or 10 years, I think I'll be pretty perfect. Maybe even sooner than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not perfect, but I'll have most of the stuff figured out. I'll have a lot more figured out than I do now.
And my theory is that can happen a lot sooner than 4 or 5 years, because we reviewed some of the things that Dyson had to say when he was here before,
Right.
and your comment was what?
Well, I think it was a little bit of bravado. I think he puts on a show. I think he feels these things about himself, but I think it's a show.
How am I putting on a show?
I think it's a little bit of bravado, actually.
I say these things to you all the time.
Which I think it's a little bit of bravado. I think he's less confident than he.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about that some, because here's what I want to do. This is what I want to do last time, but we didn't get to it last time. But I want to get to it this time. You are willing to stay in this marriage and work on it, right?
Absolutely.
Even though you've been cheated on and you admit that you've cheated on her, still, and I got to say, your reaction is probably less than any woman I've ever seen.
I deal with stress quite well. I'm pretty.
She loves me. That's the fact. Yeah.
It's true. I do love him, but I do know that he loves me. But I've had a lot of stressful blows in my life, and I just know how to assimilate those and keep moving.
Is there a point at which you would say enough is enough? Or can he just continue to do this forevermore?
This is the point. Enough is enough now, and he knows that.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to start trouble,
No,
but I want you to be clear, and I want you to be clear so you can make an informed decision about what you do going forward, because I think you're very fortunate that you're willing to deal with this and continue to work on it. You've made some bad decisions, what I think are bad decisions. I don't think you think they're as bad as others think they are, but I think you've made some bad decisions, and I think like some of the things you saw him say on the show that you said is just false bravado, or he dug himself a hole, I think it's because you really don't get what effect that has on her. I don't think you would say and do some of the things you do if you really could see things through her eyes.
Oh, after this.
Down to the business of Dyson cheating. Rebecca believes that he's cheated with at least 25 women since they first started dating, and wants to know how to stop history from repeating itself. Now, I flew Dyson and Rebecca to one of the leading neurological, psychological centers in the country for a very comprehensive assessment to look at psychological issues, neurological issues, and how they all come together to affect behavior and decision making. You want to know what they found out?
Yeah, drop the bomb, Doc.
Okay. And now, is there anything you don't want discussed?
No, you can.
Out of this, anything off limits, anything
Isn't that what you pride yourself on?
You think
being
is
real? Yeah, let's hear it.
So you're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you understand that what I'm getting ready to say, good, bad, indifferent, this is just information. It's not an excuse. It's not something that says, oh well, if I can catch that, I can run around on my wife and get a free pass. That's not what this is about.
That's right.
At all. First off, ADD, absolutely
Told
not.
you, babe.
Absolutely not. It also indicates that you tend to be highly intelligent and very sociable, which
Yes, and yes. That's
has its downside apparently.
Yeah.
What we did find is that you show some strong tendencies towards obsessive compulsive type thought, behavior, and rumination. That you'll get something in your head and you just are very obsessed with it and you have a difficult time getting it out. There is also an indication that your capacity for insight, that is to predict the impact of the things you say and do, to look at yourself honestly and understand your ownership, is very, very low. That you tend to bully and dominate people if they allow it. That you have a problem with anger, particularly if you can't manipulate a situation, you can't get people to say or do what you want them to say or do, think what they do, you have a tendency to fly off the handle and have anger outburst, which exactly predicts why you stormed off the stage. Insecurity is a huge issue with you. Through every test that you were given, insecurity was a huge issue with you, and you tend to cover it with arrogance and a false sense of superiority and seek validation from other people almost all the time. Somebody's got to tell you you're smart, somebody's got to tell you you're good looking, a woman's got to say she's interested in you, that you're like a sponge, soaking all of that up because you have real problems with insecurity. How am I doing so far?
Doesn't everybody seek validation from people all the time in everything we do? So that's not...
I think the difference is not to the level that you are.
No, they don't. And it's all a matter of degree, but no, they don't. And you do it to a dysfunctional level in terms of you really need to know that you can have that woman's interest if you want it. Even if you don't want it, you need that validation. The indication was that you have an immature level of thinking and problem solving, a very low level of impulse control, and that you deal with a lot of guilt and sadness every day in your life. You're right.
Oh. I guess, everybody...
Do this?
No, my dad was...
But he told you that looks were really key and really important, right?
The only positive thing you remember
that's
about your father.
The one thing, I think that is the actual only thing.
It is.
Other than when he, got Manilo cookies, he would give me the white cardboard that comes on the top of them as a cookie. He'd be like, here, and it'd always be a joke. But that's the only two things that I remember. But I remember he told me I was handsome.
Dyson says one of the only positive things he can remember about his father is being complimented on his good looks and kind of a little joke they had when they would share some cookies. That's all he was able to come up with. Part of his behavior, he says, is the rush he feels from the hunt, which has led him to cheating 5 times with 3 different women since his wedding earlier this year. Now, I've just been over this assessment, and you seem to kind of poo-poo part of it.
I just don't think I'm like your stereotypical, insecure, I need women's validation. I don't think it's that.
Well, that goes back to point number 1, which was that your capacity for insight into yourself is very low. I think that is a driving force with you. And in fact, on the first show, you said that 3 or 4 times.
It's a driving force. I get like a rush from it, but I don't get my validation from it. It's like a game,
But why would you play that game instead of some other?
Because that one's funnest.
Yeah, and
everybody has their passions and things that get their juices flowing, and some people it's architecture and art or whatever, and that's mine.
But the reason that rings your bell, the reason that is fun, is because it scratches an itch. And the truth is that you're really, in my opinion, selling yourself way short. Because I think there's a whole lot more to you than your ability to impress some woman. I think there's a whole lot more to your intellect, your depth, your personality, your role as a father.
And I see that, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, there are so many of those things that you kind of don't even put on the list. But you're actually very good in those areas.
He's one of the brightest people I've ever met.
You're a very loving and committed father. And
well, I'm a big kid myself, so
that's true.
it's easy for me to relate to.
Okay, now we're getting some insight.
Okay, here we go.
People hide behind humor and sarcasm. Sometimes if it kind of gets a little close, oh yeah, like my mommy didn't hug me enough. My mommy and daddy didn't hug me enough, so okay, I'm messed up, ha ha ha. But actually that's true. Actually, your father was not a kind person to you, was he? and your mother didn't protect you as much as she could have and should have. And I think that has a significant impact on the fact that you were absent a role model that could really set the standards for you. You know, we learn what we live, and the most powerful role model in any child's life is the same-sex parent. And with you, there was just kind of a void there. It's like, this is pain or nothing from my dad. Last year, his ex-girlfriend unleashed her revenge because he cheated on her with not one but two other women that she knew about. Now, is firefighter Corey just misunderstood? Well, our female viewers had a thing or two to say to Corey, and one of them to me, that put me in the doghouse with him. What did I do? Take a look.
I was dating Corey 10 months when I found out he was cheating.
I don't recall if I said we're absolutely exclusive.
Corey constantly referred to me as his girlfriend. We were in an exclusive relationship.
I cheated on Ashley, and I admit that.
I had to write this down. You meet Ashley, but you don't tell her about Miranda. You met Kyla online, then in March you met Maggie, and you found out when they were both at your house.
She did break into my house, and she came upstairs, and I was up there with a friend.
I went in through the window, and I confronted them in his bedroom.
Lord have mercy, Dr. Phil. Studley man Corey needs to wake up and smell the firehouse coffee.
I brought up The Bachelor show when I was accused of juggling women.
You said he narrows it down to 4 or 5. He's sleeping with them all. He can do it on national television. Why can't I do it in my life? Did I pretty much get that right?
Not necessarily. I mean, that's a little bit unfair.
You said it.
I know I did.
The Bachelor, that's a TV show. The whole premise of it is to date everybody, and everybody knows it. You hid it from your girlfriend.
How old were you when you started this relationship?
17.
And you were how old?
35?
I understand you think that some older women, like in their 20s or something, have baggage.
When Corey said he liked younger women because they have no baggage, I just about threw up. I think he likes them because they are naive.
I mean, the whole media is geared towards young women selling to older men.
So you're just a victim.
That's right.
Okay, if she had said, I'm 17 and 10 months, you'd have said, whoa.
I did say, whoa.
No, you said she had a smoking body, can you blame me?
Corey is a horrible, clearly immature man preying on younger, impressionable girls that he can control and manipulate. What an absolute pig.
I'm not married, and I don't have a family, and I'm just out trying to find the right connection.
I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that whatsoever. I do have 2 suggestions. You might be a little more forthright about it while you're doing it so nobody gets misled.
Right.
And number 2, you might try dating a few that aren't in their teens.
I can't believe Dr. Phil didn't tear this guy apart. Dr. Phil, you should have went off on him.